dear Real-Debrid, last week I thought you were dead, but my love for you I can't get out of my head. I was tempted to try easy news and premium eyes, and then there's Real-Debrid, but I just can't spread my thighs. But Real-Debrid will limp along. You're kind of working, but who knows for how long. Thanks to some creative devs, they found a workaround. I got my movies and TV shows back, so I no longer have to frown. Like Lazarus, you've come back from the dead. Now I can watch entertainment while I lie in bed. So now we have no enstrangement. But Real-Debrid will limp along. You're kind of working, but who knows for how long. Thanks to some creative devs, they found a workaround. I got my movies and TV shows back, so I no longer have to frown. Like Lazarus, you've come back from the dead. Now I can watch entertainment while I lie in bed. So now we have no enstrangement. But Real-Debrid will limp along. You're kind of working, but who knows for how long. How long this works, nobody knows. I'll just cross all my fingers and most of my toes. Never leave me again, Real-Debrid. I just can't handle another breakup, or I wish I was dead.
Hey everybody, what's up? Thank you for coming and joining us on the midweek panel. How's everybody doing today?
Cool, good.
Hanging in there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Everybody's nice and it's midweek. Everybody doesn't know how to act. This is like what Dab's trying to do a show on Tuesday. Beach and Aubin wanting extra pay, but
overtime.
They want overtime.
Ain't getting nothing.
Get work out of it. So thanks for you guys joining. I thought after this weekend, and I think I got a little bit of carpal tunnel over my typing in answering questions in Reddit, Telegram, Facebook. Oh my God.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube. Oh my gosh. I was answering questions. Thank you for people that tuned into our show on Friday, one of the fastest growing shows that we've ever done on here. And so thanks to the people that tuned in and asking questions, people that never subscribed to this channel, because we're talking about something that's not being talked about on a lot of other channels. Or if it's talked about in a lot of other channels, they're very careful in what they say. and what information they give, because of being a little bit on the nervous side. So we try to be pretty frank with you here. We'll try to give you some information, give you the information that to understand the situation of what we're dealing with, understand the risks in how this is a roller coaster ride and you have to take the good with the bad, and then how to prepare for the future. And that's where we're at. We are on that ship, the pirate ship in the intro. We are there. We are there, guys and gals.
Back there, you mean?
Yeah.
No,
it's tough times.
It's like deja vu, because you go back to what, 10 years ago. This is what it was like.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
an add-on would die and everybody would freak out, and then somebody would freaking clone it and come up, you know, a few days later. So it's nothing new.
And Beach is 100% right. That was what we dealt with, and a lot of people are new to this community, and so they're not used to this turmoil, and this rough waters. And so what we're going to try on this show, and this is like a midweek show. We're going to try to answer some questions. I'm going to tell you where we've been for the last 4 or 5 days, what has happened, how some things are as of today. So the information I'm giving today is today's information. Could it be different tomorrow? Yes, it could. So that is why it's important to join some of the, I have a Telegram group. There is other Telegram groups. There is Discord. There is Reddit. If you're a person that's going to want to make this a hobby and you're wanting to stay on top of things, I would suggest you joining one of these platforms to where you're going to be informed. You're going to have way more information than you ever want, but that's the way you're going to be able to stay on top of this, because this is a very fluid situation right now. So, hi everybody, new subscribers. Thanks for everyone joining over on the side chat. Normally I used to give shout outs to everybody, but really can't do it. I want to spend our time doing that, but thank you guys for tuning in, and thanks to Beach for another beautiful song, beautiful intro song. That is his second Debrid song. We're gonna have to put that on album.
That was all Tan.
Oh, is that Tan?
That he was like, I can't get that song out of my head. So I was like, well, let's go ahead and make another one. Hence this, Debrid's kind of warped. Debrid is back-ish. Big on the ish.
Yeah, it's working. So let's go ahead and let's give a run back of what's happened or why some of the situation is. Hold on a second. I can share this tab. So if we go back last week, this is something that we talked about last week. This was posted on Twitter, or X, if you want to call it X. This was posted by Real-Debrid, basically saying they were changing some of their anti-piracy measures. They were changing some of the ways to keep themselves out of trouble, because basically, if they don't comply with the things that they're needing to comply with by trying to fight the piracy situation that their platform was being used to do, they could possibly be fined or sued and all kinds of stuff. And we know the Motion Picture Association and TV broadcasters have plenty of money, so they would probably sue pretty heavily, and it'd be very detrimental to this company. So what they did is they said, hey, we're going to change some policies here. We have to change some policies to be safe. So part of it was this first part here, audio visual files available, and the number of the cyber lockers. So in words, some of your Rapid Gator files, some of your One Feature files, some of these websites or I should say online servers that hold this content. What Debrid is going to do is block when they have a certain extension, MP4, AVI, XVID, whatever the file extension that would be linked to a video file is now being blocked by Debrid from coming from one of those cyber lockers. So they're saying, hey, we're going to do it. Now, there has been some ways around that through people using different extensions by zipping it or rawing it and stuff like that. But basically, those video files are being blocked now to protect themselves. Filtering by file name, which, they would use that file name, as well as looking for certain names of a movie or a TV show or stuff like that. blocking all hashes from private trackers. So that's basically avoiding some of those infringing content from getting on it from private trackers. So torrent trackers, as well as the private or the online storage, as I mentioned prior. So we have those purging all cache files, which they have done. They have done that. We've seen that happened on Thursday, Fridays, where all those files were gone, deactivating the API. That has been, we have noticed that some where the add-on can't call to Real-Debrid and say, hey, what files do you have cached? And then Real-Debrid says, oh, these are the ones that are cached. And then the add-on gives that list to you, where you're able to say, I want to choose this link because I know that Real-Debrid already has it cached. Cache meaning it's already on the server.
Sure.
Uncached, it's not there yet. So that's the difference. Sometimes people say, I don't know what cache means. Cache means it's already on a server, easily to be accessible. You can download it, watch it right then. Uncached means it needs to be pulled from a torrent or pulled from some other source. The other one is this bottom one, which was kind of confusing a little bit. And I actually thought it was just going to be blocking Streamio and Kodi just outright. But it says counterfeit Kodi and Streamio applications. And then after reading some this weekend, they were talking about some applications are using Kodi or Streamio's name or API, like they're saying, hey, we're Kodi. So when you authorize RD when you're trying to authorize RD through some of those other, I don't want to say pirating, some of these other APKs, they'll say, hey, we're Kodi. That's who we want to authorize. And it's really not Kodi. It may be another APK. So I believe that's what they're going to try to do, is they're going to try to, if they can identify that this isn't Kodi that's trying to connect or trying to connect to our API to authorize, it's some other thing. I think that's what they're going to try to fix. But so this was the situation. We talked about this on Friday. So that's kind of your background on what had happened, what's happened over the weekend. So over the weekend, one of the developers that is in the community that works on Fen had a fix. There was a fix created and put out there, and Fen you were able to use Fen, and Fen Lite and Umbrella were all working. There was a workaround. It needed an update. You had to update the add-on, but what it did was instead of waiting for Real-Debrid to say, hey, these are the cached torrents. And again, I'm having to explain what I believe this is what it's doing. I'm not a developer, so I can't say that, I could be incorrect on some of this, but this is kind of the way I think it's happening. Instead of it calling to Real-Debrid saying, hey, what things do you have cached? That list comes back. This is what you would normally see in the past. Now it's saying, hey, do you have these files? And what Fen does, instead of waiting for all of those lists to come back, it's like it's going through and checking, trying to play a link and then try to play a link. So it may be a cache link or it may not be a cache link when you click it. If it's not a cache link, I believe it skips down to the next one. It's going to try another one if it's not able to play within a timeout, I would assume. Because I have noticed once Saturday came, I noticed that it would work, but it didn't play as fast. And when we play, we're very spoiled, right? I mean, because we're expecting things to play in 10 seconds. So now we may have to wait 20 or 30 seconds. So that's what I'm believing the fix was. It kind of did a little fix on that so that you were able to pull, and it may take a little bit longer for it to find a link that's actually cached content to where it'd be able to pull. But it wasn't able to say, yes, that's there. So it was kind of guessing until it found the guess, and then it says, okay, here it is. No idea if this fix is going to last. We're day to day here, guys and gals.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure we're being fair to everybody. So we're day to day. This could be where I could be showing this right now, and I go back to my TV and stuff not work. So that is definitely possible, but it is a fix for now, and it's I call it a patch. Some people say it's a fix. It's a patch. So this is the developer of Finn is retiring. He actually said it on Friday. So, you know what? This is the last fix. I'm done. I've enjoyed this, but I don't need this. I don't want to say hassle. It's a lot of work, and he doesn't want the risk of getting in trouble. This is a guy he's doing this for free. This is not something he's doing out here selling fire sticks. This is not what he's doing. He's just trying to create this for the community. So he basically says, hey, you know what? It's gotten to a point, maybe I need to step back. But he's also a person that wants shit to be working. So this is the latest post that was today. And it has where his retirement's a little bit on hold because he's had to send a few patches over the last few days. As of right now, the latest version of Finn is 3.5.02. If you're on an early version of Finn and it's not working, and you're like, why is this not working? Everybody else, look if you're on the current version, because you may be on an old version and it's not updating properly. So if that's the case, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to give you all the URLs, but you're going to need to go get the zip file for Finn and install it manually on your device. Once you install it manually on your device, then he has turned it on to where it will update moving forward for the time being. This ain't going to last for long because he said this is short term that he's going to be here, then he's done. So for the version of Finn is 3.5.02. So if you're like on 3.2 and you're like, it's not working, it's because you're on an older version. You need to get the newest zip. For Finn Lite, and this Finn Lite is not the correct number, because actually Finn Lite at this time is 2.0.4. So there was some updates since this was posted early this morning. So if you're on an early version and you're not seeing you're still getting the no results, you may need to get the zip file, get the latest version. And then you can be moving forward. You should get updates. Now I will say this as a caveat for Finn and Finn Lite. The developer of this had made it to where on 2.0.0 or 2.0.1, he made it to where it would not update anymore, that it was done. Well, he had to roll back and make it to where that's why it won't update through the repository, because he put that fix in, and that's why you got to download the zip. Moving forward, once he retires, it's going to have a feature that if somebody else decides to take this project on, Finn or Finn Lite, and they decide that they're going to do it, and they're going to create a GitHub, it's going to have a place where you can put in a new repository to pull updates from. Because the way that Kodi works, I think it started in Kodi 20. It might have been Kodi 19. Now that I think of it, it might have been Kodi 19. Kodi put a safety feature to where if I update or I install an add-on from repository A, and I install an add-on from repository A, if repository B, which is on my device, has a later version, my Kodi will not update from repository B, because A is what you're locked into. That's because it's like only when A updates will it get an update to that add-on. If you want to start using repository B, you have to go into repository B and say, oh, that add-on, click, and now repository B will update anything moving on that add-on moving forward. And that's a safety feature. And what the developer of this has done is made it to where you can add a GitHub name and repository when the time comes, so that moving forward, if someone takes over this project, you could get updates from that trusted repository, because his repository will basically be empty, won't be having anything. So that's a safety feature that was put into Kodi, I think 19. So That's what this is, an important thing to be put into the add-on so that it can continue on even if he doesn't do it, even if somebody else steps in. Does that make sense to you guys on the panel? Did I?
Yes.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
Right. Okay, I was just trying to, because I'm trying to explain this in a way that everybody understands what's happening and why. And people say, just fix it. You just can't fix it. I mean, there's checks and balances to this stuff. And there's reasons why things work and how they work. And if something breaks, that you just can't fix it. It's got to go through a chain of like a certain channel to get fixed. So for now, I think, and all right, so Fen's working, Fen Light working, Umbrella's working. Also, from what I understand, did C-Man jump in yet?
No.
Okay. All right. So Saren is working, as far as I know. Because I had to ask, because I don't use Saren. But as far as I know, those 4 add-ons are working. Yesterday, Resolve URL was working, and other add-ons were working. Your crew, POV, Homeland, Asgard, Black Lightning, whatever. They were all working. Well, today, that's why I'm saying it's a fluid situation. Today, Resolve URL is not working. There is a block for Resolve URL. So any add-ons using that script to access where these files are, to resolve where that URL is, where that final location is, it's not working. And is it going to be fixed? It may. If that gets fixed, your system should automatically update. Most people's systems, Resolve URL will update automatically. And so if there's a fix for that, it should be fixed automatically and just roll through and everything be okay for you for the time being. So that may happen. Shadow, for some of the people that know Shadow add-on was it updated today. So if you're using the official Shadow add-on, you may have an update where some of this stuff may be working. But Shadow is a base that's used by a lot of add-ons that use that base. I want to say Asgard, I think, uses Shazam, uses it. I can't remember if Black Lightning uses a Shadow base or if that's new gen, if it's a gen base. But there's a lot of add-ons that may be updating in the next few days, but each developer of that add-on has to fix it themselves and then update. So we may see a slew of add-ons updating since Shadow updated their base and other add-ons use that base. So I know I'm talking a lot of damn jargon. That's quite confusing. So Scraper versus Resolver. I'm not sure. Should we explain what some of that is?
Hey, Debs, could I ask you a question? What's the
Yes.
latest update of Shadow?
Shadow is the newest version is 3.5.0, and that was released today.
Okay.
So if you're on a repository and you're using Shadow, because you'll know, if you're using a repository, they may update it automatically, and then if you're using it, it would update. But again, that was just today, so that takes a little time for add-ons, the add-ons that use that base to actually do it. Well, let me give before we go, one more technical thing about understanding a couple things and put it in layers, because when people say Kodi's not working, completely incorrect. Kodi is like an operating system. It's like a best analogy. It's like an operating system. Best analogy I can make. So it's an operating system. And there's nothing wrong. It's empty. It's like when you first install Windows. It's just core things. Now, Windows has a lot of bloatware, so it's not exactly the same. But if you installed Linux or something, it's just the operating system. That's Kodi. Just nothing's installed. There's just their repository. Nothing wrong. Nothing. So doesn't matter what happens to add-ons. Kodi is not going to close up. Kodi's not dead. Kodi's not going away. When we say Kodi's dead, most of us are joking. We're just saying it is because so many people have said it, and we just making fun of them. So that's the core. So then you have add-ons. You have add-ons from Kodi, which are certain. They have hundreds and hundreds of them, And then we have third party, which are some of the add-ons that we use, the Fen, the POV, Homelander Crew, whatever the add-ons are. Those are third party. Third party has nothing to do with the core of Kodi. The developers of Kodi have zero to do with anything that the third party's doing. So just like Windows is not responsible for anybody that makes a Windows application and puts it out on the internet. You know what I mean? They're not responsible for someone that makes whatever program and says, "Oh, I got a new program runs on Windows." Whereas a lot of times people blame Kodi for something that a third party add-on does. That's two separate things. So again, trying to give education of when people say this is broken, that's make sure we're talking about the right things. So when third party is different from the core of Kodi. So when we say third party issues are having issues, that doesn't mean Kodi's having issues. That's the third party. That's their small infrastructure. It may be having issues, which that's what we're having issues with as third party. Scraper. People say, what's a scraper? So a scraper is something built into a lot of add-ons that looks out and has a list of websites that it goes to looking for whatever content that you put in the search. And it goes through these websites one after another, looking for whatever content. And then it pulls back a results and says, hey, we found the content that you're looking for at these websites. And we have these links that, some of these websites have hundreds of links for a certain movie. So that's a scraper. So it's scraping. If you can just think, it's scouring the internet. That's what a scraper is. And then resolver is a script that says when you click the particular link that you want, it resolves exactly its location. So it goes out and says, hey, you clicked on this link. This is the URL to that particular place, converting languages and stuff like that may need to be done. But it finds the actual final location of that. So it resolves the URL. So sometimes people get confused about these terms. And I know that this is probably more tech than what people give a shit about. But I just wanted to explain some of that because I've seen lots of terms thrown around and people don't understand what each of those terms are. So I'm all about teaching people. I've been taught by people way smarter than me. So just spreading that information so that when you're typing or requesting or complaining or asking questions, what you're using the right terms and you're to talk to the right subject, if that makes sense. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. I've got a couple more topics and I'll start running through some of the questions. I'll go through the questions. So let me go through the banner because that helps me remember what
Yeah, because if you go through that, you'll see.
Yeah. So I already talked about the what happened and when happened. All right. RD did offer some refunds and they gave out refunds, which I was blown away that they ever gave out refunds. I've never in my life heard that RT give a refund. So some people got their $17 US back or less, depends on what they were prorated, because maybe they had used it for 6 months, so maybe they got their $8 back or whatever.
I don't think that the people that got refunds will ever be back on again.
No, because all right, what's funny is so we say that it's kind of funny in a way because we had people that requested a refund of $17 or less, depending on how long they'd had it and the content they had received over all the time. And then Fen and these different add-ons started working, right? They started working on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So these people that had gotten their refunds on Friday or early Saturday said, oh shit, it's working again. So then those same people went back to Real-Debrid and says, can I get my account back? And logged in. And guess what Real-Debrid said?
No.
Hail to the no. Goodbye. And see the door. Again, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at you. Because the reason why I say that is the quality of content that we got from Real-Debrid for the amount of money that we paid them or over time is unbelievable. I got it. Oh, I got it. Okay. It's unbelievable the content we got for what we paid. So for somebody to get mad that they lost at the most $17 if you had just bought it. And then to say, I want my money back. And then, oh, wait, it's working. I want to get you back again. So that was quite ironic. And I thought, well deserved that Real-Debrid gave him the middle finger and said, no, you're not coming back.
I mean, the thing against me, you know, people did that. It wasn't even down 24 hours before somebody came up with a fix. You know, oh my God, I can't watch your show for like not even a day, and people freaked out. But I don't know. I guess that's the way people are, because we've always said, have a backup. Have a backup. We've said that many times. Have a backup. So talking to brick walls. So RD could die. All right. I would miss it. There are more things I use RD. I use RD less for watching crap. I use the other side of RD. And half of that is working well still in its current state. So, I mean, it's like I said, if you're going to be doing this, and this is what you're going to do because you're trying to get your crap for free, and the biggest shout out to all the devs who are working in the background for free, because, you know, I have no idea. I know what Auburn and I have an idea what it takes to put this show together once a week. All right. Okay.
Wait a minute. I help.
Now, let me finish my point. Auburn and I know what it's like working for free. Okay. And we're just doing this once a week. These guys are coding, doing all kind of crap every day, and they are not getting paid for nothing. So we can watch free crap. Okay. The only one who's making money off of this is Easy News, Premium Wise, Odysee, and Real-Debrid. Devs who make all this crap, who deserve all the kudos, awards, and the pats on the back, they're the ones, you know, who are doing it because they like doing this shit. And we get that for free. You know, if they weren't around doing it, we'd have to be subscribing to Netflix or Paramount or Disney Plus. So, all right, there's my rant done.
What I look at was from the show last week. The Dab said, you know, okay, we've been through this before. We're going through it again. We may go through it again in the future.
Well, we will.
We will.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, but Dad, what I gained from what you said just look at your options. Don't make a move. Look at your options before you make the move. That's exactly what I did. I didn't ask for a refund, and I renewed my maybe about 13 days before. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Hey, C-Man, what's up?
Hey guys, sorry.
What's up, bro?
Hey brother, what's up?
Yeah. So well, we were just kind of I kind of give background of where it happened in the last week or so.
Yeah, I've been listening. I have to go find the link.
For this part.
Yeah.
I put it in. So all right.
Yeah, it was everything.
Way up.
Yeah,
there.
there's 65 conversations up.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
we became it got a little chatty in there today.
Okay. All right. I'll let C-Man, a guy that's been like me, been screwing around, messing around in the community, pays attention to a lot of stuff, keeps his ears to the rail to be hearing stuff coming along. I mean, what have you, any information or thoughts over the last week, or I should say 5 days, because it's not been even a week yet?
Oh, I mean, it's been hell, basically. I'm sure with you too, just message after message after message. But I mean, I think we've all been trying to find a way around it. And, you know, obviously Finn and Umbrella are the only two right now that have. But like you said a minute ago, I mean, everything was working earlier today, except some scrapers, but most one-click things were working, and then boom, all of a sudden they blocked resolve URL and nothing's working. So, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but it seems like there might be a shadow-based fix. So, again, I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah. Well, and
But-
plus that fixed, or that, like I said, we said that add-on just came out, and it will take time because a lot of add-ons, many add-ons, people don't even know they're using a shadow base. It will take time for them to use that base on their add-on so that it looks like the add-on that you're used to seeing. So art and this and that.
I can say that the update that was just pushed is working, and it's working really good. So
Okay. So some people may be able to find it. I'm not going to post. People may. If people are going to be asking for a bunch of links, I'm trying to stay out of trouble, and so I'm not going to be posting a bunch of links to repositories. I'm not putting links out here to all these services. I'll give you information, and if you're wanting to find if you want to find the links or the zip files or whatever, you're going to need to do that on your own. We're going to give information, and then it's going to be on you, because if I put links in tons of links into the show and on the side thing, it just puts me more at risk. And I would rather this video to be there to give information than to try to spoon feed with every single link. And then all of a sudden I get in trouble because I gave a link that shouldn't have been given. So, and we know with YouTube, you just, you can dance, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, you've been dancing too far that way direction. So, I did post, I did with Finn Light and Umbrella patches. And I did post, and I will say, this is a patch or a fix. I call it a patch. He says it's a fix. This is a patch. Patches can be broken. So could this be broken tomorrow? Yes. But where we are right now is where we're at. So, and you posted, we already talked about the latest. Folks, I'm going through some of my topics that I had over here so I can remember. We talked about all those. I thought we'd mention this for a minute. Adaptable and Torbox are not taking any new customers. And if people that jumped over to Adaptable really quick, and we said it on the show, we actually said that Adaptable would be the last choice that we would make because it's a French company. And where's Real-Debrid based in? France. So we said, don't jump to the service that's in the same country, because it's likely to get the same outcome or the same letter sent to them. And so, but a lot of people went over to Real-Debrid, and Real-Debrid basically started giving out refunds to new customers that were using Real-Debrid for Kodi, and gave out refunds and said, thank you, here's your money back, goodbye, and said they were done with people. And then yesterday, Real-Debrid was blocking Kodi altogether. So you couldn't use Real-Debrid at all. Now, if I read some of the stuff today, C-Man, am I correct that Real-Debrid is working in some things now?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I'm one of the people they didn't boot because I've had them as a backup for a while. So
yeah. It's mostly the people that were all this new flood of customers that jumped in.
Right. And a lot of people that were jumping on the free right away. They had a free week trial. Well, they got plenty of those, I'm sure. So
yeah. So and so they're not taking any new customers. So again, I would not suggest them as your option. Torbox is a new company or a new service. It is a new service, and I hadn't heard about this until this past week. Torbox is also not taking any new customers, and they said we have too many. We can't take any new customers because we can't handle the traffic yet. Until we get new servers, we're not taking any new customers, which I felt at least that's above board. I mean, to me, that's pretty fair to say, hey, we can't take anybody until we get our infrastructure built up. So Torbox, now that uses some Usenet, if I'm not mistaken. C-Man, I'm not sure if you've looked at it. Uses some torrents, it uses some news groups.
Yeah,
if you sign up for certain packages.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you are correct.
Well, like everything, if Real-Debrid is doing this, there's going to be some company that is doing this and doesn't have strict enforcement regulations. They will pop up and say, here we go, we can get a shit ton of new customers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they've just been kicked out. Like everything. It's just you have to wait for them to pop up and then get them to be allowed in add-ons as an option.
And it's got to be in the right location, as you said. I think Torbox is based out of South Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
It's been listed. You look them up. It lists a couple different countries.
Oh, okay. So it depends on the country that they're based out of is important. Premiumized, I think I first thought it was Belize, but then over the weekend, I think I found out that they were based. Some of their servers was out of Malaysia. So that's another, why some people went to Premiumize. Premiumize is the most expensive of the services to jump into. Not a new player to this. They've been around a long time. But could the same fate fall for them as it did for Real-Debrid? Of course it could. But again, depending on where you're based, if you're in a EU country or in North America, you're going to have the risk is much higher than it is if you were in certain countries that may not be as compliant with what the EU or the United States wants you to do. So again, we're giving options. You guys got to decide for yourself. The other one that a lot of people have moved to, and this has been around a long time, Easy News. Easy News has been around a long time. It is a definite option. Uses news groups, and it is an option for you if you're wanting. And that works in certain add-ons. So I want to say the Fen family umbrella. I'm trying to think. Easy News.
Is that Easy-Debrid? Is that the same thing?
No. Easy News.
I'm reading a new one. Easy-Debrid. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't heard of that.
It's on Reddit right now. I'm reading it. No IP restriction. Easy-Debrid headquarters in Asia. I'm sorry. Large cache torrents, new servers, top Debrid providers. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I don't know anything about
I've never heard of Easy-Debrid. And look, I just did a search. Easy-Debrid. Yeah.
It's
okay.
Paradise Cloud Company. Never heard of it.
Okay. Well, again, you guys got to be careful of because as we said, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to try to get their hat in this game because there's a lot of opportunities. So stick with the companies that have been around a long time if you're going to make a change.
Yep.
And something that fits your budget. Don't go spending money that you can't afford to lose. That is something my dad told me a long time ago. Don't ever let no one borrow money that you're not willing to never get back. And I'll say the same thing with this kind of situation, that if you're going to buy a service, be willing that if things go bad and you can't use that service for the purpose that you're wanting to use it, you're okay with that. So be sure that you're okay with that. So that is a bit of information to keep you from thank you. All right. Okay.
I just sent that to you, Todd.
Yep. So let me grab that. Let me see what that is, because I've never heard of this one.
Looking at their website right now.
Yeah, does it look? It just seems weird when I get something that's like never heard of it. It's like,
Can you put that in the private for me?
All right. So 1-year program, $40. Yeah. Take a look. Does it have? Yeah. There's no real information about the company. Look at the website. There's no.
Yeah, it looks
you know what I mean?
They built it a few days ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like I said, when the Big Daddy fails, there's going to be a bunch of shady ones pop up.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see. Stick again. If I'm going to stick with RD for right now. I'm not looking to get my money back. Even I had 260 some days left. I had 1,500 fidelity points. If I couldn't use it again tomorrow and forever, I'll be fine. I'm gonna be okay because I feel like I got my money's worth.
You got your
100 times over. So I'm good with that.
With all the freaking 4K you watch.
I like 4K. So
you're a 4K data hoarder.
I don't keep it though. I just watch it and it moves on.
But the poor guy that's holding it, you're hitting his server.
Well, that's
Me and
what
you.
Real-Debrid was good for.
Yeah, well,
All right, so
a question, Dad.
yeah, all right, go ahead.
What happens if your subscription runs out and you have to renew it? You won't be able to renew it, right?
Real-Debrid?
Real-Debrid.
Sure, you can. They're not closed.
Okay.
Real-Debrid, if Real-Debrid shook off Kodi 100%, and I say Kodi, third party, if it shook off third party 100%, Real-Debrid's still in business. Now, could they financially stay in business due to their overhead and their servers and this and that?
That's another question.
That's a completely different question. Because their infrastructure, I would assume, is pretty big. I would assume their server costs are big with bandwidth. I would think is pretty large. So could they financially stay afloat? That's a question. But they will not close because they shake off third party. What we were using it for was not what they actually set up and designed it for to start with. People found that it worked for this for the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, long time. So that's worked just fine. Before we run to the other questions, let me jump to a few things before we start losing people, because we're kind of going long. Of some
coming in
non-Debrid add-ons. Here's a few. Look through them. Those are they have non-Debrid sections. You can use it to find non-Debrid content, so you don't need Debrid. You can watch it without a Debrid account. Another add-on that I tested this weekend, which is an option for people if you have a VPN. I'll say this again. If you have a VPN, Elementum is an option because it uses torrents directly. So do not use this without a VPN because there's very few countries that basically don't care. I mean, if you're in a country that don't care about torrents, then you're good. But most countries do. But if you have this is an option. It basically looks out into the torrent world and will find the file you're looking for. And basically what happens is the file starts to come to you. It creates a cache on your device. So it creates like a buffer cache. So you'll see it kind of taking time as it's downloading to your device. Once it gets an amount of cache, then the movie starts, or TV show, whatever it is, starts. And as you're watching it, it's trying to stay in front of you by downloading what you're going to be watching moving forward. Okay. So what part of that is when you're watching it, you're also sharing it back to others that may be wanting the part that you have. You're able to actually share that part back out. So that's where the torrent's working back and forth. Now, Elementum has been around a while. It is not one of the add-ons that I have suggested in the past because most new people don't have a VPN. They stick it on their device and then they start watching, and then they get a letter from their ISP saying, hey, you were watching Avengers on Saturday, November, whatever. And, you're not allowed to do that. And, you get the letter because they weren't protecting themselves with a VPN. So if you're going to use this is an option for you that for people to use. And it's been around, and I can see it being very difficult to stop in a legal way. It would be very hard to stop this because it looks out on all these different places, pulls links in, and there's no centralized server or playlist or nothing. They can't close down one thing and stop it. So it is a definite viable option. I would say that the downside is you need a VPN, which is really not that bad of a downside. The other one is you need to have some free storage on your device because it has to download ahead of what you're watching. So it will take up some space on your device. So if you're using a shit stick, a fire stick that doesn't have much room on it, you're teetering around that 800 megs all the time, you could run into issues with this because it's needing to use some storage as you're watching it. Now it does remove, like say you stop watching a movie, it flushes that out. It's gone. It doesn't store it on your device. So it's kind of there for a while you're watching it, then it's gone. So if you're on a low storage device, that could be a problem to try to use Elementum. I'm not sure if any of you guys have used Elementum. I should say there's really, so Seaman or Beach, have you two used Elementum?
No, I don't.
I used it back in the day, you know.
Yeah. So, all right. So we've ran through all of those. Okay. So
there's a million things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm going to start at the top of the list. Okay.
Yeah, and just uncheck the star list there.
100%.
Okay,
Elementum, just talked about it. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, we just brought that up. Also have Premiumized. And again, I'm a Premiumized subscriber, been a Premiumized subscriber for a long time. Same thing with Easy News. I've had both of those for a long time. New subscriber, thanks for the help for the recent issues. You're welcome, Prez. Hopefully I know that it's a very fluid situation. There's no quick answers. Some people says, well, just tell me what else I got to subscribe to. I can't tell you that because I don't want to tell somebody something, say, subscribe to this service, and then next week that service ain't working. I personally kind of feel guilty. That's just me.
Don't just subscribe to anything. Go back and use the free add-ons that have free links.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody freaked out with this, Real-Debrid. There are a ton that he listed free add-ons that you pretty much can get what you want anyways. So that's why it's always good to have a mix. Get something that requires Easy News, Premiumized, Odysee, Real-Debrid to work, then have some free add-ons in the background that when something goes wrong, because Real-Debrid will go down on its own from time to time.
It has been
100%. People would freak out with that. Yeah. Oh my God, Real-Debrid's been down for 6 hours. I can't watch it. Well, your life sucks. Too bad for you.
You got to talk to your family.
Free add-ons so you can do the same thing.
That's a perfect. That's a good thing there. I 100% agree with you there, Mr. Beach. How did TKP get RD working on Fen? Last update. I don't know. I'm not a coder. He knows what he knows. Coders know how to code. They know what they're doing. I'm a butcher, or I was a butcher forever. I throw a piece of meat on there. I know what I'm doing. I can cut it and make it look like what you're wanting it to look for. I know how to do it. So people know what they know. So I don't know how he did it, but he found workarounds. So 100% shout out to these developers that spend their time and effort. And I'm in awe of a lot of what they do. So I appreciate it. Big shout out. Here we go. Redneck. Big shout out to Tiki Peter. 100%. There is no Aldebrid links I can find. I guess it's going down the same route. Again, depends on the add-on you're using. Some of the Aldebrid is working in Aldebrid's working in some add-ons. You may have to lean into the Fen family ones. I think Aldebrid was fixed on theirs. I think I read that on his blog, his post. So again, Fenlight umbrellas, you may find it's working in one of those add-ons. But again, with Resolve URL going down, folks, just hours ago, that basically screws 80 to 90% of the add-ons that you've heard of. So that's your crew. That's your Asgard, Black Lightnings, Shazam, POV, Homelander. All those are screwed because if Resolve URL is not working, those add-ons need that. So that limits. So
unless you do what the Shadow developer just did, and which Shadow originally was, it had its own resolver.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the other people that forked it that brought in Resolve URL. So any of these forks would have to be, you'd have to set Debrid inside the add-on.
Okay.
You could not go through, like Shadow, you have right now, the new one. You have to set it in the add-on.
Oh, okay. So when you authorize RD, you do that inside the add-on.
Inside, yeah.
Not in Resolve URL script. Because normally what would happen is people, when you authorize Resolve URL, it actually took you to resolve URL script, and you did it there. That's why when you authorized it once, it worked in all the add-ons.
Yes.
Right.
Because it was there. So now you're saying is you got to do it in each one of the add-ons because it's
That is
within there.
that's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So again, that's new. None of that was just released an hour ago. So breaking news. So, let's see. Tiki been trying to retire, keeps coming back. Again, the guy wants things to be right. He's trying not to leave with things half-assed done. So again, major props to him for what he's doing here. The problem with Resolve happened after it updated. Yep.
I just think that people really need to realize or send a message, give some type of thanks to these guys that are fixing all this stuff for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's people doing stuff like it's like a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't even have patience to give them time to work on it.
Yep. You're right. And it's hard work. Kodi Devs should call the next version Lazarus. Well, we can't. I mean, unless you call the new add-on Lazarus, because Kodi is moving forward. And what are we going to? P? Is that what's going to be the next one? Because Omega, because it's in alphabetical order. So yeah, we're moving along. So it's going.
What would P be again? He's gonna stand
Diddy?
for P Diddy. That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'd say we call it Peckerhead. So yeah, let's start a petition.
Let's see. So CG posted. I opened a ticket for RD for a refund. They told me bank gave an error and thankfully still got RD. Yeah. Again, I'm not looking to toss RD out the window. And again, I'm hoping the best. I'm hoping that because it's a great service and the pricing is, I mean, you can't complain about that. Been using RD free for last year. So Jim's probably using Fidelity points. So those are always beneficial. Bought 2 years of Premiumize, easy as hell to use. Yep. Chris is easy to transfer over Premiumize for almost all those services. Just about all of them. And the good thing about Premiumize is most of your APKs you can authorize Premiumize in a lot of those APKs. So those APKs, if you authorize some of those premium services inside those APKs all of a sudden become way better because relying on free servers is not always a beneficial thing. RD posted on Reddit today if you want to make a new account, they don't use ISP to block from making new accounts. Okay. All right. Well, maybe they're when people try to use the same name again. Thank you. Where am I done?
I hit it again. I'm sorry.
I was like, why does the thing keep changing? I'm changing it to one, and it's like changing. I'm like, I'm not even drinking tonight. Thanks for the info.
Problem.
Yeah, great info. Yep, you're welcome, Chris. Let's see. Tried Alderbrid earlier. Fanlight, Homelander, Crew not working. No, Alderbrid. You'd probably need to update to the newest version of Fanlight. Homelander and Crew probably not until Resolve URL is fixed. And the other thing is, I didn't save the picture. So there's another thing that you may need to do inside Fen, and that is inside the setting. You go to tools settings under results. There is rescrape if fails and remove all filters. You need to turn those on or make them on auto. That is a setting inside Fen and Fanlight, and I don't have a picture of it. I meant to get a picture before we went live. That you need to turn on so that those uncached results may show, because by default, we ignored those in the past. Now we need to not ignore those. So it was under results, and under results, I'm trying to imagine it when you go there. So results, and then over here under general, there was one that says rescrape if fails. You got to have that on. And there was another one that says remove all filters. if if it fails on the scrape to pull results. So you need to turn some of those on. If you're using Fen, make sure to hit OK after it. If you're hitting Fen Lite, if you change it, it automatically saves the results.
Hey, Todd, I don't think there's anything wrong with resolve URL. It's Real-Debrid blocked resolve URL.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then,
So, no, there's nothing wrong with the resolver. It's just they blocked it.
okay. So yeah. Well, unless they come up with a workaround. So that's okay. Well, that's going to be, we'll see how that plays out in the next few days. Again, stay informed through Reddit or through some of the Telegram chats. You're going to try to stay on top of what's happening because it's a fluid situation. Got free Orion account. I guess I should check. Orion again pulls, if I'm not mistaken, Orion is basically like it saves other people's scraped results. So am I right on that, C-Man? It's like it saves what other people have, like when they search for that particular content.
It does,
and so it makes a quicker return.
It saves a lot of old stuff too.
Okay.
And they're usually shit links, but it does have a lot. It will pull a lot of old stuff. TV
but
stuff.
you would still, but see, that's just on the scraper part of it. It still needs the resolver part to actually find the link.
Right. That's
right.
true.
Because it's just, it found this is the things for that show or that movie, but it's still got to resolve on the back end. So Orion wouldn't necessarily be the fix.
No.
If resolve part is not working.
Yeah, it's still got to be resolved.
Yeah. So all right. Sorry, folks. I'm going through these questions that people that had posted while I was jabbering on. Does this give you cache torrents? So right now you may get cache torrents. Sometimes you may get uncached. The ones you go to watch it, they're going to be cached, but you don't have the choice like you did before with Real-Debrid. Now, Premiumize is different. It does have cache results, but when we're using or Easy News, some of those. But with Real-Debrid right now, what's happening is it's kind of, you're not sure what's saved or what's cached, what's not cached. So it's not so much of an option. Now, what it's doing, from my understanding, is it goes through that list, trying the different links, and it finds one that plays. It says, all right, we found one. But it's not necessarily like, hey, we're going to click on number one and it's going to work. It may be there, may not be. It may not be cached. And I think when it's not cached, if it doesn't cache within a timeout section, maybe 10 seconds, whatever it is, it moves on to the next link. If I'm not, again, my guessing, that's what it does.
I think you're correct.
Easy News doesn't work with Fen. Incorrect, Stuart. It does work. I have it on my device right now. It works just fine. It does. I will say Easy News, I do sometimes have issues with TV shows with Easy News where it'll like have to retry a couple times. I have seen that. But it does work. I have watched stuff through Easy News plenty of times. I have seen it to where it like goes through and it's like checking the link and then it circles back around and it says retries. And sometimes it'll play or it even skips to the next one. So for whatever reason, that is I've seen that myself. Can't find IPA key, or that must be an API for Orion. Guessing you have to purchase. I don't know. I don't know about the APIs on Orion. I tinkered around with Orion when it first came out, like with Gaia. Remember Gaia add-on? They were promoting Orion, or I don't want to say promoting it. It worked when they were like, oh, it works with Orion, and everything is super fast. And I tried it for a minute, and then I was like, I'm paying for what? What's it giving me? Oh, I can wait 10 seconds for 15 seconds for my links. I don't need the 2 seconds to pull the results. I can wait the 10, 15 seconds to pull my results. And so I didn't pay for that service, but you'd have to look. It's going to be somewhere in your user. I'd go to your account someplace. Usually the APIs are in your account. You have to dig around. So not familiar with that, Christian. Sorry, I can't help you with that one. VPN suggestions. I mean, I like Nord. I like the name one. I am not a big, because we talked, remember Alban, we talked about some of the VPNs way back when, and we were talking about how one company owns PIA.
Yeah.
Surfshark, and there was another one. They owned 3 big VPNs, and that same company also owned the review sites for VPNs. And that same company used to be a malware producer. They used to create malware before they got into the VPN business. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you were a malware creator. Now all of a sudden you're going to be the good guys selling VPN. What's your ethics? I mean, can I trust you? But again, there's a lot of
great.
Proton, another, thank you. That's a great one, C-Man. That is the most secure one. That is going to be your Cadillac version of a VPN service. They've got the email. They've got all kinds of stuff through Proton. So that is a really good one. Probably one of the more expensive ones. The one thing about with a VPN, folks, if you're going to try a VPN and try different cities, because different cities, it matters what cities you're picking. And the other thing is a lot of them offer a 30-day guarantee. So if you don't like it after 30 days, you can get your money back. And, but give it a fair shake. Don't buy it. Don't, and try it once or twice.
Before you buy.
And then, don't buy it and say, I'm going to buy a year or 2 years, whatever you pay. And then half-ass try it over a couple times in that month or less. And then say, oh, it's shit. I want my money back. No, you got to try some different settings. You got to do a little research on that. Sometimes changing the settings inside the VPN matters. What cities you connect to is important. And what device you're actually, because some devices work better with VPN. Some devices, when we put them on low-end devices, CPU is only so much. So if you got a shitty device and you stick a VPN, that's another process that's running. So now your device is going to run even slower. So there's things in that. So just do your research. Be fair to the VPN, what you're trying the different options. Because if this is something you're going to rely on for a couple of years, you want to put your money where it's something that's going to work for you, in my opinion. Easy News works with Crew also. Okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you. It's good to know. Funstar B. All right, many scammers will try to jump into starting fake Debrid service. 100% fun. True statement. True statement. That's why when C-Man posted that one, we're like, I'm not sure. And you were looking at it, and I would stick with companies that been around a while.
I dug further in on their website, and there's actually a link to Easy Debrid itself, and it's in beta. So the website, only available for testers.
Okay.
Yeah. So no.
No, thank you.
No.
Let's see, Chris. Can you use Elementum as a standalone, or do you need to use it? No, it can 100% standalone. You can the add-ons that we've mentioned in all of this. You don't need a build for this stuff, folks. And we've said that, and we say that as like I have a build. C-Man's got builds, but you don't need a build for any of this stuff. You can put the Beach uses a generic, the generic default skin, right?
Damn right. You see me estuary. Yeah. That's all I need. I mean, my Kodi's so boring,
Yeah.
Fen Light, Black Lightning, and Umbrella now. I had the Crew on there, but so the Crew's on there. But I haven't loaded up. You've seen it. I have music loaded on there and all kind of crap. So.
So you can put this as a standalone. Elementum also does need, I think you got to install Burst. And there was another, I actually had done some search and found a repository on that and downloaded Elementum, Burst, and there was another thing that I installed, the context menu. So there's a script so that when I right click or long hold on it, I have a context menu that goes with Elementum when I'm using it. So and also Elementum does, as soon as you boot up, I have noticed it'll say Elementum Damien starting. So it's another background process. So when we're putting it on low end devices, just keep in mind, I mean, A Pinto can only drive so fast. I don't care, what kind of fancy tires you put on it. It's only going to go so fast. So just keep it in mind. If you got a low-end device, it's only going to do as good as it's going to do. Popcorn Time works great the same way as Elementum. All right. Yes, Popcorn Time has been around a long time, and that is another one of those that uses torrent trackers. Popcorn Time does work. It's an APK, but VPN if you're going to use it. Please protect yourself. Do not connect. And you get these people that post, "Oh, I've been using it for 2 years and never gotten your letter and everything's been fine. I think you're full of it." I'm telling you, you can play Russian roulette for only so long, and you can say I clicked it how many times and I never got shot until the one time when you did. So, yeah, wrong time. Streamio with Real-Debrid is working. Streamio is still working, and I have seen that Streamio has been plugging along. Again, with FlixVision, I turned that on. That thing's working just fine. Debrid, Premiumize, all of it.
Sounds.
Jump.
I'm hearing jump.
Me too.
Who the hell? It ain't me.
No, it's C-Man.
C-Man. He's probably getting a call. So Vision Flix is working for me. I've heard Cinema HD is still working for a lot of people. So you might need to check out some of those things too as an alternative. Got IP Vanish and a lifetime subscription with a VPN for $29.99. All right, IP Vanish is a known company. I would be nervous when I see $30 forever. How do they keep that and keep good servers at that price forever? They could. I not to say it's not true, Chris. It makes me nervous though, because it's like, wow, that's not much. And if everybody signed up for that, how does the infrastructure still work?
TV went haywire on me.
Yeah, I heard that.
I had the volume all the way down and it's blaring music. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a dog barking.
I was trying to mute it anyway.
Let's see. I'm down to Tavi here. Tavi, do VPN slow down your internet service? Yes, they can. And yes, they most likely will, because you're not going to get any faster service when you run a VPN, because how can your service get faster running the VPN unless your ISP is throttling you? And that is a real thing, folks. Your ISPs do throttle people, which means they say that you're getting 100 and then they push you back for numbers of different reasons down really low speeds. So if your ISP is throttling you, you actually could get better speed. More times than not, you're running a VPN because you're having to. I'm trying to get from point A to point B. I can't get to point A to point B faster if I have to go to F, L, M, G, then to B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
jumping through tunnels to get to one place.
Yeah. It's going to slow it down some. Now, will it slow to a crawl? No, it shouldn't. That's why you want to try different cities and different settings, because maybe you have something set incorrect and you're doing a server in a city that is overwhelmed or got crappy connections. That's why, I find that connecting to Germany, remember Beach, we talked about connecting to Germany. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Great connection to Germany.
For a certain service.
Yeah.
And
you mean your $5 one?
No. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
We had me and El Supremo there had a conversation about that one I'm holding in my back pocket with 8 connections.
No, we're not talking about that.
No, we're not talking about that. No. But I just
this is not the show for that.
Okay, what I will suggest, I have Nord. All right. And the reason I have Nord, where I'm located, there are servers in the state that I'm located in. All right. And there's servers in North Carolina that are just as close. I have 1 gig up and down. So I'm connected to my VPN now. I still get 1 gig up and down. When we're in big screen and doing football, 8 screens going, my VPN's on. So
Amazing.
look where your location is and check in the services and see if they have services close to your location that can help out with your speed when connected to a VPN. That's just my
100%. 100%. This is a question that has been asked on a lot of my over the weekend as I was reading about things, because Premiumize does things a little bit differently. Real-Debrid said unlimited. So whatever you watch, there was no limits to anything you watch. Now, Premiumize does it a little bit differently. They have a 1 terabyte that you sign up with when we're signing the Black Friday special, because I'm going to use that, for example, because it's $99 for 2 years, which is basically half price. They give you 1,000 gigs, which is a terabyte of data. And then each day they give you back 30 gigs. So if you start with 1,000, they give you 30 each day back. Now you can never be over 1,000. That's your cap. Now, as Christian says, if I stream a 27 gig link, so a 27 gig file, so it's probably a 4K, Premiumize would cost me 27 points. Would like to know how the point system works and how not to lose points on cache torrents. So as I'm saying, so for you using your example, so you start with 1,000 gigs. You watch this particular film or content. It's 27. So it takes 27 away from your 1,000. So you got 970, 900, whatever. So you're 27 away from your 1,000. 970 gigs, something like that.
70.
Whatever. 73 gigs. So you would have that as of today. Now, if you watch it again, I think from what I saw, I don't think if you watch that exact torrent, it won't charge you again. Now, let's say you go watch another movie that's 10 gigs. Well, now you've watched 37 gigs in your one day. So it takes that 37 away from 1,000. But at the end of the day, which I think this is European time, so it would be probably any time now or within the next couple hours, once the 24-hour period finishes, you would get 30 of those gigs back. So you would only be in the hole. Let's say you watched a 10 gig. Yeah, you watched a 10 and a thing. You would only be in the hole 7 gigs starting tomorrow. So you would only be short. So that's how their system works. So if you're a person that's like me that watches a lot of 4K, yes, it could be a problem if you're a person that's at home every day and you're jamming down 4K content. Yeah, that could be a problem for you. But 1,000 gigs is a lot unless you're a person that's really watching those gigantic 4K files, those 80 giggers. You're probably going to be fine because you're going to get those 30 back. There's going to be days that you're not going to watch 30 gigs of content. So you're going to gain those back. If worst case comes, and you get to 0, they have a bonus program where or booster, I think it's booster program, booster points, that you can buy points back. For $10, and I would say $10 euro, you can earn back that 1,000 gigs. You can be back for 10. So let's say you go a month or 2 and you've been binging the hell out of it and you run out. You can top it back up to 1,000 gigs with that 10 euro, with that $10. I think off the top of my head, I think it was $25 or $29 gave you 6,000 gigs, which would be 6 terabytes. And I want to say $69 got you 12 terabytes. So that'd be 12,000 gigs. So if you're a person that is like massively downloaded, Premiumize does give you the opportunity, if you get so far in the hole, to get it back. Okay. The other Premiumize Plus, and that I have known of people that were family members that were able to share a Premiumized account. Now, to say that couldn't be stopped in the future, or was stopped in the last couple of days, but in the past, that was a thing that multiple places could use it in the past. Pulling off the same 1,000 gigs though. So if one person was watching 100 gigs and then you watch 50, well, now you're 150 that you've lost.
And you'll get 30 back.
Yeah, you get 30 back per day.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, so that could be a problem if you're sharing it around too much. But Premiumize says you're not supposed to share it, but it's not IP locked. You're not locked
Okay.
into the house. So just saying it's a possibility for folks. Discuss selecting the fastest CDN in Premiumize settings. Yes, Robert, there is a setting in here in Premiumize when you go into things, and thank you for mentioning that, Robert. That's a perfect thing. In the settings, if you go and log onto your computer into the Premiumize settings in your account, it does have an option to do some tests of your CDN. So like basically where you're routing your content to, you can test different locations. So sometimes picking a different CDN can greatly improve Premiumize performance. So yes, that is a feature part of Premiumized. And hey, I didn't write that down, but perfect suggestion there, Robert.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Talk about writing stuff down. There was something that I was supposed to write down before we came in the show. Do any other guys remember it?
I don't know what you're
Anyone?
talking about.
Something
Before
probably
we
something
came
I
into the
said.
show.
Something I said.
Yeah.
Hey, write that down so don't forget.
Yeah.
It was Todd saying he was sending our Christmas bonus checks out.
Oh. No. I don't
Hold
think that was
tight.
that one.
Okay. All right. Well, while you're thinking, why I can't use VPN on Popcorn? Yes, I would. Yes, Christian. I must have misspoke. I would definitely use, yes, VPN. I'm trying to read it to make sure I'm understanding what he's saying. 100% I would use a VPN. I would not use Popcorn Time without a VPN. So if you use Popcorn Time, yes, VPN is necessary. You must, or in my opinion, highly suggested. It's risky not to. True dat, Butcher. I used no VPN to try the last James Bond. After 2 minutes, got out. Got that letter.
No, yeah.
And that's real. And again, you'll get a letter. Does that mean you're going to jail? No. What happens in this scenario? So some folks don't know that this is how this works. So the Motion Picture Association, I say Motion Picture Association because that's broad. That could be any of the broadcasters or the copyright holders. So what they do on some content that comes out, and they know that it's leaked to the internet and torrents are being used, they go and put people into the swarm. Now the swarm is all the people sharing that file. And if you're using uTorrent or whatever, you look down at the bottom of uTorrent, it shows you the swarm, shows you all the people connected to, right? So that's a swarm. So what the Motion Picture Association broadcasters do, they will bring somebody and say, monitor this James Bond movie. And what they do is they record all the IP addresses of every single person that connects to that swarm. Now, I don't know how long they do it. They just do it for whatever period of time. Once they have that list of IP addresses, because again, uTorrent, if you look in there, you'll see it's there. They'll see all the people that were connected to it. Now, then what they do is that IP address, if they do a reverse search, they know what ISP that IP address belongs to. Bell, Cox, Spectrum, Xfinity, whoever. Yeah. They know that address belongs to that ISP. So what they do is then they write a letter saying, hey, on this date, this IP address was downloading, because if you're streaming, they call it download. They were downloading this content, which we own rights to, and this is the information, time, date, blah, 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 blah. Cease and desist. And they send that letter to your ISP. Your ISP gets that letter and then forwards it to you to basically say, you've been warned. Most ISPs will basically kind of just roll with that because they're legally, they have to send you that notice because they have to tell you, stop doing that. There has been talk of, do ISPs kick you off for repeat offenders? That actually has gone to court in the U.S., so that's all whole nother story. But that's why you get the letter. Now, the letter doesn't mean you're going to jail. They just basically strong word it that stop doing it. You could be liable, is what the letter will say. So that's how that works if a person gets a letter, and how easy it is for them if they're watching that swarm. Now, if they're not watching that particular file, hey, you're good to go. But you don't know when they're watching it. You don't know what file they're watching. Maybe they're watching, maybe they're scanning who's watching the new Dune TV show. I mean, you never know. But that's how that works. Syncler only worked well with Premiumize, has issues with RD and AD. So yeah, I've never used Syncler. I tested it. I love Kodi. So Syncler, I felt like I was cheating on Kodi when I was using Syncler, but a lot of people love it. A lot of people love that, and Streamio. People just love it to death. So yeah, it's good to know. I mean, Robert, that Premiumize works well with that. Again, that's all in how the back end of the application APK is coded to how well it works. So good news there. Has anyone used Weed? And does anyone know who's the developer of that? I'm hoping the dev updates the app to work with the new RD. I have seen Weed posted. I have never even installed Weed I'm actually in they got a Telegram group. Join that, and I'm sure they got a Discord group. I have not ever used it. It's very similar to the Syncler kind of look, is what it looks like to me. So I've never really used it. I don't know who the developer of it. DJ, what I would suggest is in Telegram, they have a support room, and you can ask questions in there, maybe get updates on how things are being updated. Weed is probably one of the least talked about APKs when I think of Streamio, Syncler, Kodi. Weed falls below all those because more people are using those others. So I've never used it, but that's where I would look for some information, is on their Telegram group. And I bet you they got a Discord, but I just don't know what it is. Most of the Discord groups, you got to get an invite to it. Look in Telegram. If you join my Telegram group, I have a Dabs links. I might even have it in Dabs links, where I have a bunch of grooms I link in there. So, but if you ask in my Telegram group, someone's going to give you the link to go to that Telegram group to check it out. Has anyone in the U.S. been served with a letter? Yes. They have. Lots of people. And again, it's all in your ISP and what you're actually watching and getting. If you're watching something that is that somebody's watching and what they got. So there is letters given out to people in the U.S. Happens every day, I guarantee it. But usually you just don't hear people. Most people think, oh, I'm going to stop using all that stuff. And it's just because they were being not so smart. What's up, Penn?
Yeah, Penn.
Penn. I was watching his videos this week on the Buzz TV. He got one of those Buzz TVs. Buzz didn't send me one. Buzz didn't even send me one for review. But they sending everybody and their brother a damn one to review. Penn did. Penn broke down all about the new Buzz TV. He looked at it, and Penn looks at it in a very logical way. I mean, he is very methodical in his reviews. So if you're thinking about getting a Buzz TV, definitely check out his video, because it's got some good content on explaining if this is a device for you, because it's not a cheap device. I think it's $399 or something like that. 8 gigs of RAM and this and that. So check that video. TV. Yeah. Oh, you get the new one?
Well, it's about 4 months old. But I got the basic model.
Oh,
not
okay.
The high end.
Yeah, that new one is expensive.
Well, I'm satisfied with what I got.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I still find it expensive though.
Yeah, it is high. Loving Streamio, as you can use external players. You're awesome. I know a lot of people love Streamio. Streamio has brought a lot of people into the community. And I say the cord cutting community. Maybe not the best thing, and I say it for this reason. We have brought in a lot of plug and play people. Just like, remember the day when we had box sellers that were selling boxes every day?
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
We
You
brought
go
in
Dragon Box.
Yeah, we brought in so many people that were selling Fire Sticks. We brought in all these people buying pre-programmed Chinese boxes. And you brought in all these people that expected to cut the cord and basically get the same thing that they had for the cable TV plus more and being dirt cheap. And when it didn't play the way that they wanted to, raising holy hell. Again, not understanding the whole ecosystem. And Streamio has done that in a way because they have made it so easy. It's a very easy setup. I mean, the initial setup's a little work, but once you do it, then to add more devices to it is easy. It's a simple code and you're rolling. And so what that has brought in is a lot of attention, TikTok videos, people selling this stuff everywhere, and people watching a video like, I can do this, click, 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 and then not understanding how some of the ecosystem works and how sometimes everything don't work right. So in a way, it's been great that it works great for a lot of people and it's easy to set up. But it's also because it's been easy to set up, we've brought in a lot of people that have no idea what it takes to be a cord cutter and what work it takes sometimes, and to be inflexible. Like we've said, backups. You know, these people are like, well, shit should work. I'm fine. No, it doesn't. You know, there's growing curves to all that stuff. Sinclair, Mook. There's Mr. Mook Dog. Update Sinclair, which this guy, he knows about his Sinclair stuff. Works with RD. Thank you, sir. Perfect information. What is better than what VPN is better for streaming? IPVanish or Surfshark? Surfshark had RD had a major issue just weeks ago with Surfshark. If I had to pick between the two, I'd probably lean towards Vanish over Shark. But if I'm not mistaken, they're owned by the same company. I think those are the two that are owned. Ampia.
Yeah.
If we take a look at, I'm almost positive they were owned by the same company. So,
yeah, one of the few YouTubers that talks about this stuff that doesn't have an affiliate link to any VPN, or there's no advertisement for a VPN in any of his videos. So
nope, none. I'm not here to sell you nothing. And most tubers do this as an income. This ain't my income. If I make a couple $100 a year, great off this. But for the most part, not making a lot. I spend more money on StreamYard and all the other stuff to keep this show going than I do really to make money off of it. But YouTubers that push VPNs, I'm not that. I am not. You won't find any affiliate links in these videos. I'm not here to do that to you. So I can speak and I don't have to worry about hurting somebody's feelings or making my affiliate mad because I ain't got one. So I would probably not use either one of those. I would probably C-Man mentioned Proton, the best, most expensive, but the best. I like Nord. Nord works for me great. It's a great price. I think I paid 95 Canadian for 2 years, or I say 27 months for less than 100, 27 months. So that was where I went with it. But try them out. Chris, that is the most stable version. I saw this one here. Wacko works well for Wacko. Never talk about that anymore. All right, so Wacko, I did videos on it, Mark. That's it's funny that you kind of remember. You remember when I did some videos on Wacko, and I was amazed on how well it worked. And they were one of the first that did not. The scrapers were not part of the package when you got it. You had to install those Helos scraper package. So it was two separate things. They were the first ones that I remember that even did that. Wacko was great. It worked really well. The only thing I didn't like about it was the customization. It didn't have some of the customization that I had in Kodi. But again, that is another one that nobody talks about a lot about. If you're wanting to test some different things, that is an application to check out because it does, last check, it does work pretty well. Let's see. Penn says, I'll do more further content once I get my new speakers, hopefully update the firmware on consistency. Yep. And that's on his Buzz TV. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hey, Penn, Plex, baby, Plex.
Yeah, well, he don't have Plex. I can't remember what he's got. That
Jellyfin.
No,
Jellyfin.
He's got that system that he did a review on. That is, it's expensive. I can't remember what he calls it.
Yeah.
He'll tell us what it is. It's some system. It's a box you buy, and it's not cheap. It's like a DVR, and you have plugins that you can put in. He'll post what it is.
Post that.
It's not cheap. I saw him do videos. I'm like, there'd be no way in hell I'm paying that.
He's not close on the airport, but I am. So
Robert, you can. Well, hey, he'll post about that. Streamio, you're right, Robert. Again, it's too much visibility. It is, and it's too easy. It's just too easy. But I don't mean to knock on it, but the problem is when you bring in a shit ton of people that know nothing, you have a shit ton of whiners. And then you also have people, when something breaks, have a damn meltdown, or they're posting it everywhere on, I remember when people used to post about Exodus was broken and they're posting it on the Kodi forum.
Honest to God, I was just going to say that. Go back to in the Kodi heyday, when it got real big, people were doing that post on Kodi forum. My Exodus isn't working.
You're right. Yeah, that was funny days. Only thing that sucks about Streamio is that if you make it, if you want to make an add-on, it has to be hosted on a server with a public SSL. Didn't know. Let's see.
Okay.
After Streamio, even Grandpa knows what Real-Debrid is. Again, it's got some exposure. Let's see here. Robert says he likes PIA, which is private. What's it? Private internet access.
Yep.
All right, we got a question. Here's Chris got a question. One question: with Premiumize, should I still use a VPN or is it not necessary? I always did with RD. Well, if you always did with RD, then it's fine. You can use it with Premiumize. It uses the same kind of secured connection between the two, between you and Premiumized. So your ISP doesn't know what's content is going between you and between you and Premiumized. But if you're a person that is using a VPN and you just feel safe with a VPN, it's not going to make it a bad thing. The only thing is if you have it could slow down your connection if it's going through the cities and towns or servers that's not optimized, or if your VPN is not optimized. But Chris, you sound like you have your shit sorted out, so you probably aren't having some drag or buffering issues over that. Got another question. Christian, do you think Real-Debrid will come up with a solution or maybe move servers or countries? All right, Real-Debrid doesn't need to come up with a solution on this. Okay, Real-Debrid needs to comply with French laws and French copyright laws. So Real-Debrid is going to do what they need to do to protect themselves as a company, and to not be sued. Now, the second part of your thing about could they move servers and country? 100% they could. I have no idea of the money that Real-Debrid makes. No idea. Don't know how profitable they are. I don't know if they were barely scraping by. I don't know if they were living the heyday. No idea. If they see this, that they're like, hey, we were making bank. We don't want to not make that money anymore. Maybe they would choose to move locations to try to continue to make the money that they were making prior. That is a viable thing. Only Real-Debrid knows if they're going to do that. It makes sense, but moving countries may not be easy, and maybe someone doesn't want to move to a country that has maybe someone doesn't want to move to Belarus or Russia or a country that doesn't comply to those kind of copyright regulations. So I don't know, but there has been talk. Would Real-Debrid move? That's a possibility, but no idea if they would be willing to make that move. And yeah, ARB in the house. Basically what he's saying, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, my channel is not, I've been around a long time, folks. My channel has been, I don't know, I'd say this channel is probably 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, something like that. And the number of subscribers I have is the number I have. I don't race out and do videos on every single thing. I don't ambulance chase. I'm not creating videos every time there's a new product out there to try to catch people's attention. I don't have any flashy titles. Actually, the last 2 shows are the flashiest my titles have ever been. And it's not clickbait. I'm actually talking about the content that we're talking about, trying to give people solutions. So my channel has grown slow and actually been stagnant. Doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that. The people that follow me, the people that follow me. People that learn from us, learn from us. So, but if you're willing to like, subscribe, share, all that stuff, awesome. Welcome to have, it's great to have you in here and to learn something, because I'm learning from people that I know and learning from the viewers as well as you're learning from us. So, and hey, if you come in on a Friday night, you also get Player Pass, which we do movie reviews on here. We do all kinds of shit. Plus we do Oculus. We're all over the place. That's probably why my channel don't grow. We talk about too much stuff.
I know I didn't make it last night.
Yeah.
But you know, talk about movies. We're doing TV shows now also.
We did on Oculus last night. So if you have an Oculus, 100% join our Oculus group. We watched Landman in big screen with a group of us. And that was a movie, the TV show. Oh, it's on point. Billy Bob Thornton. If you not watched Landman, you gotta see it. Billy Bob is phenomenal. And that show, it's got me. Oh, I'm in. So we're gonna watch that every Tuesday night in big screen.
Monday.
Or no,
Monday.
excuse me, Monday. Today's Tuesday. Yes, it was Monday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna watch it Monday. Then we have Player Pass movie. We watch that on Thursdays normally. This week it's gonna be Wednesday because of Thanksgiving. And then we talk about that movie on Friday. So that's our normal run. That's our normal schedule. So, you know, while we got people on here, hey, tune us in on Fridays and we talk. First hour is this tech shit. And then we talk about a movie and we review. We want to hear what your thoughts on that particular movie are. Bad experiences with Premiumize. Yeah. So check the CDN, as Robert said, Tavi. Take a look, because you might have just been connected to a bad CDN. And it's in your settings. I can't pull it up here because then everybody knows my information. But you can pull it up and see how to check the CDN and connect to the right one. Mook, why do people insist on using VPNs to degrade their connection? And that's, some people feel safer, Mook. And Mook's been around for a long time too. I mean, he's a long time guy that's been in the cord cutting. And but we know that some people feel safer with it. Sure. Will it degrade your connection? More times than not, it will some. Now, if you've got a 1,000 gig line, or 1,000 megabyte line, and it drops it down to 500, yeah, it degraded it, but is you going to notice it? No. So just depends on what you have. Now, if you're only pulling in, if you've got a 50 megabyte line, and then you jump onto a VPN, and now you're down to 20, well, you're going to notice that.
Oh,
So depends on your internet. You know, hey, if we go with Eddie's old damn internet, which was like 10 meg down. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. And he'd be like, I'm buffering all the time. 10 megabytes. I mean, that's one step above dial-up. Okay. Let's see.
Don't take me back, please.
Christian says Cinema HD plays incredibly streams with Premiumize. Awesome. Good to hear. And again, I like to have people because I don't use every app out there. And so I like hearing when people can give testimonials saying, hey, this works well with this. That's what this is about. It's about sharing information. Love it. Love it. And thanks for people joining in live. This is awesome. I love having live people.
Well, with all this calamity that's been going on since Friday, I've had flawless streaming with Plex and Nemby. So
me too.
All right.
I have it. So,
all right. So if you've not watched the show before, we have Aubin, who is a Plex whore. He will only use Plex, and you know what? He's had no issues the last week.
No issues.
No issues at all. So there is options. I mean, again, Plex. If you're wanting to start to collect your own Plex servers and create your own content, Dell was talking about that last night, and he's preached that for years. Creating your own library. There is cost to that, folks. You need to have some type of storage, be it an external drive or you've got a good computer. You can use USBs and stuff, but those aren't going to be reliable long term, in my opinion, because of that writing and unwriting. And over time, it worries me. But you get an external hard drive and you're running off of a small computer or a laptop, you can run a Plex, especially if it's just for you. Now, if you want to add your friends or some of your family members, it's another step. It's not impossible. It's not super hard, but it is addicting because when Aubin first started, I remember him getting on Plex, and
it was blue.
It was my wife. My wife got him hooked years ago, and he has not looked back. And now he is collected. So again, these are options for you. MB, which I say MB, Jellyfin, and Plex are all pretty much the same thing. There's small caveats, but they're all the same thing. Basically, data's on yours, on a hard drive computer, whatever you got, and then your computer basically finds the art and the thumb images and all that kind of stuff, and then off of one of your devices in your house, you can connect to the files that are on your computer, and you're able to see it. If you set it up and you set it up personalized for you, it's beautiful and works great. No buffering. I mean, buffer free, and you can watch some huge files with no issue about your internet. So that's a definite option for folks. Probably best Debrid to use. Using, I guess you're saying, is it best to use Debrid with HD Cinema?
HD Cinema.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Christian. I'll have to lean on you because I don't use it. You said up here about using Premiumize, so I am not sure. Xeon build. I know that one of the builds over there got updated. I don't think it was the Xeon build. I think that was CG's build that got updated. Apologize because I don't remember. I know that I don't think that they've updated the Xeon build yet. But again, they have a Facebook group. Join the Facebook group. You'll see it in a pin. Don't just ask. You'll read through the post. You'll find it. It'll be there. So I'm not sure. There it is. There it is. Kaleidoscope. Look up Kaleidoscape. That's what it is. Kaleidoscape. Look that up, Aubin, while you're over there. Take a look at some of that shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for you. You look at that up. When I was talking about his device that he's got.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I saw it before.
We'll discuss it later. I ain't got money like that, Ben. No, we ain't even discussing it because I ain't got money like that. I saw the price and I'm like, moving on.
$3,000 pass.
Yeah, it is.
But it might go with my projector pretty good.
I'm telling you. Take a look. It sounds awesome. But I ain't got money like that.
No,
I got a pinball machine that I'm gonna buy before I buy that shit. I'm telling you. That's I'm trying to race through some of these questions. I don't see. I'm looking for questions.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Did you see the other?
I think I've some of them I unclicked most of them. I'll look at them again.
Okay. That's
one of my favorite and ARB is so intelligent. This guy, there's no way I'd even argue with this guy because him and I have been friends forever. But I'm gonna tell you, he's one of the most intelligent online troll hunters of anybody I know. He can argue so well, and he's so articulate, and he has that passive aggressive way of saying things. And he used to go on the forums, and there'd be idiots that would be posted, and he would say stuff, and he could put it in such a delicate way, but in being sarcastic, which I love. Mook's over in the side chat. Mook's just one of those people that just had to F off. Yeah, that's his Mook. I mean, he's just blunt. ARB he was like an artist on how he could bait people. He used to get TVA, Adam with TVA. He would argue with TVA, and he would get Adam so furious because, just how he would bait him into things. Thank you, Mark. All the information about Wacko is on Reddit. Awesome. And again, it's a good option for people to have. And and you're right. RD should have stayed underground. Too many knuckleheads found out about the Streamio. Yeah. Well, and all right, and Mook is a Sinclair fan. So when he says Streamio sucks, he is a Sinclair fan. Let's see. So such I have one family member charging for reading. I have one of my family members charge for RD.
I think she means change from RD to Proton with a VPN. I mean, links.
Yeah, that's not going to fix that. That can hide what you're doing now. You would, but that's not going to fix your RD problems, huh?
Yeah, that's not going to fix your RD. Your Real-Debrid getting links with add-ons.
No. The VPN would be if, like I had mentioned about Elementum, or popcorn time. Some of those. That's where you would use a VPN and then use one of those add-ons because RD is not necessary. That's kind of what we're getting. Thank you, Beach. I was kind of reading it. Hey, Tabby, no shame in that because anybody that's read text from me, my wife can say it. She'll go, what? What?
We speak Dabonese. We understand Dabonese.
Dabonese.
It is. It's like, what is he trying to say? And hey, in all fairness, I use swipe. Anybody use the swipe with your phone when you're typing?
I can't.
So I don't tap. I actually swipe. And sometimes when you're swiping, it picks the wrong word.
Right.
And I don't proofread a lot of times.
No,
Shockers, guys. Sure. So when I go through there, it's like typing. I'm like, then I'll always look back. I'm like, oh, what the hell was I saying? Oh, that wrong. That word's wrong. That word's wrong. And I have to fix it. So, yeah.
Hey, Dabs, are you going to be updating your build?
Yes, I need to. That was going to be job yesterday. And then then I went and watched the TV show last night, and then it was going to be job today when I got home from work, and then this became job today. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I do need to update all three of my builds, and it really doesn't need much. I just want to get the newest versions of Fen in there and the settings that I mentioned about in results, folks. If you're going to look into settings in results, you need to change the retry that needs to be turned on, and remove all filters need to be turned on to get the full results that you need to inside Fen. So those are a couple things that if you have Fen, make those adjustments in your environment.
Yeah, like I said today, when I turned on Fen, when I saw this stuff was going on, I picked a movie. I got 2 results, and then I got a prompt at the bottom where you list the results. It gave me an option to re-scrape, which I had never seen in Fen before. As soon as I clicked that, then it re-scraped, and it came up with a shit ton of links. So, yeah, I had never seen that before.
Yeah, that might be one of his fixes. You might want to look in the settings, like I mentioned, Beach, and see if you have that. Mine's been on since this all started. Actually, fallback links. I had mine remove all filters when I was searching for hard to find stuff. When we couldn't find stuff, would be I want to watch Gilligan's Island season 1. And so I turned off those filters previous because it would scrape, and if it didn't find it, then it would remove all the filters and try again. So yeah. Hey, Robert said, how many gigs does folks use on a monthly average? People can put it over there. I don't know. I don't use since I use my other one. I on my modem I could see, or my router I've seen that I had 29 terabytes, but I don't know how long that was. You know, like when the time frame was.
Mm-hmm.
That was data.
I used to get monthly letters when I had Cox as an ISP, and they will tell you that they don't have download limits, the amount they're going to grab, but I would get letters every month. Hey, just letting you know, you downloaded 800 gigabytes this month. That's a lot. Yeah, well, screw you. So what?
Yeah, I'm curious too about people that I don't know how much people that I wish that my modem would tell you, or you know, they'd have a meter of some sort just to. I mean, we can put meters.
When you go in there, you can see the log.
The easiest,
if you enable your log.
Easiest way is that on your ISP, if you go into your ISP, like if I log into Verizon website, look up my account, it will tell me how much I've used.
Oh, that's true, but I don't know on well, I know on my modem I can go in and it tells me, but it doesn't give me a time frame. It just says, you know, it doesn't have where you can change this week, last week, a month, year.
Oh, okay.
Gives me like a total. So here, Madhead says, still learning how to play golf. Are you still learning how to play golf?
That's Jay.
Man. Is that Jay?
Yeah.
Man, no, I'm an expert.
We know Jay. We a lot of new courses been out.
Yeah, where have you been, Jay? He's one of our Oculus friends.
New course coming out next week. So, you know, just let me know when you want to play golf.
Yeah, well, that's on our Oculus, folks. We have if you have an Oculus, join our room and it's just fun to have adults to play with, not having to listen to kids. Love Landman. Yep, great shit. Yep. That's what I missed when I was busy with family. You miss a lot. Lioness, that is on my list to watch. Next. Yeah, she's been missing Player Pass. Tabby used to watch us all the time on Player Pass.
Yeah. It's Octavia, right?
Yeah.
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 Then we got Landman was great. New Dune, I'm liking it. Look at now. See, now we're getting back into the Player Pass kind of feel now.
Yeah.
Where we're talking about the shows to watch. I do like that. I do love. We all watch so much content. Who do you have to share with what's good and what's bad? And that's why we have Player Pass. That's a place where you can talk about that stuff. And that's why I like Friday's show, that second half. It is fun to talk about what to watch or what not to watch.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of stuff that people talk about. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll check that out, and check it out, and it's awesome.
Crash. Have anybody got into Crash?
No, not yet. Not yet. Is Torbox and Premium safe in regards to not receiving anti-piracy notes? I would think so, Christian. I think that both of those you're going to connect with a secure connection with their servers. That's really not the problem. Again, your letters come when you connect to torrents directly. That's when you get letters, Elementum or Popcorn Time or stuff like that. That's when you get letters. You don't get letters when you're using Real-Debrid. You don't get letters from Premiumize because your ISP is not the one monitoring this stuff either. This is the Motion Picture Association trying to find out. And the Motion Picture Association has no idea when you go to Premiumize. No idea what you're watching there. They know if you connect to a swarm, if they're monitoring that swarm on a torrent. So that's kind of how that works. My VPN boosts my speed. Good to hear, Peter. It's good. I mean, maybe your ISP has been throttling you, so when you use a VPN, it actually goes up, that is sometimes that happens.
Possibility. Yep.
If your ISP is throttling you, change your server, Octavia. All right, thank you, Red. Robert said CDN changed to Premiumize, increased my speed from 50 to 800. Whoa. Now I got it. Now you know what I got to do when the show's over.
Yeah.
Open my damn tab and double check my damn CDN on Premiumize. Let's see. I'm trying to turn off these tabs of the stars. So
As long as you know where you're at.
yeah, I'm slowly making my way down. The comments keep coming, so it's like
I know they keep coming. That's why
so I'm just kind of scrolling through.
Yeah,
Works well
okay.
for me. You'll get a kaleidoscape when I win the powerful and move to Hollywood. Yeah, that's me too, Robert. Ain't no damn way. When he wins the Powerball is what he's saying. I missed that part. Yeah. Ain't no damn way. Torino hosts cash torrents on. Now, Torino. Now, isn't that like a torrent website? Torrentio. Isn't that a site that kind of like a Pirate Bay?
Torrentino.
I don't think that they actually host the files, but I could be wrong. I know I've seen it in scrapers. It's in a lot of scrapers, so I'm not sure how they work or how they fit in the ecosystem. Not 100%, but I know that most things are tied into their scrape. They scrape with that. Here we go. And anybody that knows Fire TV Guru, this again, another old school guy that been around a long time. You don't hear him. He kind of just kind of lurks around watching what's happening, but a very knowledgeable guy here. Best solution if you have a VPN, buy a second router and you can integrate your VPN service to it and only connect to your streaming boxes and it won't degrade much. So yes, you can run a router and plug it into your modem in, I don't say a lot, but many routers you can install a VPN on it and it would be actually be running on the router itself, and anything that connects in your house would be going through the VPN. And that is that's a real thing that a lot of people do. And then it's your whole house is protected. Anything on your Wi-Fi system is protected. So definitely a good way of doing it. Best way to fix links for add-ons. There's no way to fix the links. I mean, the best way is to have the latest update with the add-on. Hopefully, if that add-on is working, the link should be fixed. But the problem is that if the add-on is not working, there's nothing you can really do on your end to fix those links. You basically need to just have the add-ons with the latest updates. If there's some settings in the add-ons that you need to change, that's possible. But there's really no way of fixing those in the add-ons themselves if they're being blocked outside the add-on and outside somewhere else. Premiumize, you mentioned earlier, PM and PM Plus both use 1,000 points. Can you share multiple? All right. I have shared in the past with one of my family members when I wasn't using Premiumized a lot. I was using Real-Debrid all the time, and I had a Premiumized account too. And I let them use my Premiumized account, and I used my Premiumized account at the same time, and I was okay. The points coming off for both people now. So if they were watching 10 and I was watching something that's 5, well, that's 15 taken away from 1,000. So it was possible. Now, could they have changed that policy? Maybe. I don't know. I know that if you read, they posted something here not too long ago. I think this over the weekend said, you're not, you're supposed to be for one home. So, maybe they had heard that people were saying you could do that, a lot of sharing. They don't want that to be common knowledge. So I don't know. But I know that basically you were working off a pool of points, no matter if it was at 2 different locations in the past. Now, Premiumized, on what's on Black Friday special, you buy 1,000 gigs, a terabyte, and that's what you start with. You get 30 gigs back every day. I think the Premiumized Plus, or if you buy one of those other packages where you're paying monthly, it caps it back to 1,000 every month. So let's say, and those packages are more expensive. So let's say you ran that thing down to 200 by the end of the month. then when you paid your monthly fee, boom, you were back up to 1,000. So there's a couple packages that they offer, but that's a monthly package. And it resets to 1,000 every month, and it is more expensive. You're better off to buy the Black Friday special, work with it for a while. If you need booster points, if that comes to that, then you go to get booster points if it comes to that. But you may be all right. Can be used. And I haven't tested the multiple IP addresses lately, but maybe I'll have to try that. They'll be watching this show and be like, yeah, we got your account, Dabs. We know. As soon as it is. Christian says, yes, you can use multiple IP with premium by share with friends and family. Christian's had it. So, accept that he knows what he's talking about. I have no best for Kodi. Sorry. And premiumized, yes, it's expensive, but if it works, it works. How much are you going to pay for cable TV? How much are you going to pay for Netflix and Disney and Paramount Plus and HBO Plus and Max and da. What are you going to pay if you want to have all those things? So it's all relative. When people say that's too expensive, I know people that are paying $150 a month for cable TV. I know people that are paying $120 for their online subscriptions. So when you say $99 US for 2 years is too much, okay, all right. I mean, there's add-ons with free links. Use those. Again, I'm not saying one's right and one's wrong. It's just,
if you're calling yourself a cord cutter and you have subscriptions to Netflix, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, all those, you're not a cord cutter.
No.
So it's all up to choices. Mook's gonna bounce. Mook dog, he's looking like he just tried. He one of them people love Mook to death, and he loves my wife to death. That's probably, he likes my wife more than he likes me. But Mook's been around in cord cutting forever, and he's one of those people that don't take no shit off nobody. Always been fun to talk to him. He's always great. Good build, Green Monster. Yep, been around. Nice, stable build for a long time. I would say, I love Robert's got all these good questions and comments. Robert, Fen or Fen Light? All right, so the difference. Fen Light has some less options, like features. Fen had a lot of stuff, and what Tiki Peter said is that he got to be where there were so many things in it. He says there's a lot of things in there I don't ever use, I don't want. So I'm going to create Fen Light. It's going to be a streamlined system add-on. So he created that. Now it's got all the things that you're probably ever going to want to use is in Fen Light. But if you want all the extra bells and whistles and settings and some of those features, Fen offers that. Fen Light offers a few less features, runs a little bit faster. I didn't even want to say faster. They both run fast. They both run about the same speed, in my opinion. But I would say Fen Light has less features. So you're not wrong on either one. Both of them is good choices. So I use Fen Light on my newest build, and I've got no problems with it. I like it. Premiumize likes to charge me when I cancel. Yes, and there has been people that have said they've canceled Premiumize and then they still got a charge on it. And I have heard of that before. But that happens with a lot of auto deduction things. Real-Debrid did not do that. Real-Debrid, you had to manually go in and put in your credit card each time you wanted to renew. Premiumize does do auto renewals. So that to some people is a bad thing, and some people that's a good thing because they don't want to have to be bothered about it. They just want to auto renew and never miss a beat. So that is that has been a thing that people talk about. You got Art here. How do you all buy, or best way safest to purchase Real-Debrid services others use it? Well, Bitcoin would be your safest. Probably those companies would prefer you to pay with Bitcoin. Less easy to track. So that is a definite option. When I have bought my stuff in the past, I have used a credit card. Some people say, oh, that's crazy. Well, you know what? Credit cards have I'm not using a debit card. I'm using a credit card. If I want to dispute a charge with a credit card, I can dispute it. I do have things I can do. I can, safety measures that are in there. So I know that there are people that are scared to put their credit card out there. And okay, that's again, your choice. But when we say the safest, I mean, Bitcoin would be the safest because, it's not tied into a lot of that stuff. But a credit card, you have protections there if you find that there's fraudulent charges on it. On a bank card, the problem with a bank card is that you have to argue that back to your bank after the money's gone. Not to say you can't get the money back, but the money's gone. And then you got to fight to get that money put back in your account. And, it's very likely that it gets put back, but you got that lag time before the money's put back. Credit card, you see some fraudulent charges and you contact the credit card company and they fight with you and you're not paid. You haven't paid that money until, things are sorted out. The benefit of it. So, but again, I know lots of people that will not use a credit card. And again, that's a personal choice. Race through some of these. Got a question. Oh, Dean's got a question. What's up, Dean? Long-time watcher. He's always watching us. Dean, quick question about the Google Chromecast with Google TV. Can it be programmed like we do the OnBox? I don't think, or is that this is the new one, right? Wouldn't that be
the one that's like an actual box instead of the old Chromecast was just you cast to the
yes, that was just a repeater.
Kind of then they came out with like the Google TV one that was more like an own device, and then now they have their own box. So with never having one, I would assume anything that's not the cast, you could probably put add-ons on.
Yeah, I would think so. Because it's Android. If it's Android, and I think Google it is
TV.
Yeah, so that's Android, you should be able to do that. What's up, Ian? Another long-time watcher for us. Nice to have him on here to come watch us on a weird Tuesday. Watching us on a Tuesday. Peter, post of this Black Friday special. Yes, 2 years for $109. And I think this is 100. Is that 109 after taxes, if I'm not mistaken? 3 years for 130. I think 135 is what depends on your state tax or something like that. But no, I paid through my American account.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was yeah. So yes, you can do the 3 years. Again, you can save money if you want to go to the 3 years, but it's a gamble. If Premiumize is still around in 3 years and everything's golden, and you bought that 3-year package, you're ahead of everybody. It's all in your amount of risk that you're willing to take. I mean, I think they'll be around. I don't think they're going to be gone, but doing what we're doing, are they going to be doing? Can I use them for what I want them to use them for in 3 years? I don't know, but it's definitely $130 is pretty damn cheap. Pretty damn cheap. Makes me think of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I live in Australia. I have updated Defend Lite 2.0.4, which is the newest one. Both RD and AD. It provides a list of links. However, none are working. Ooh. So it's giving the link, and it's providing the links, but then they're not working.
Well, has he been following what's been going on?
Well, yeah, because he's saying he's using the latest version of Fen Lite. That is the latest version.
That is.
Okay. So what I would probably do in this instance, Australia, another very strong country on blocking stuff.
But hold on, no. But I saw something with Leon had an issue. I'll find it. You
okay? Well, because I was thinking you possibly could. I would probably try to turn on my VPN, and I would see if I'm able to resolve that. if I'm able to get to the links with my VPN on and off, I'd kind of run tests. If I try it with and without, am I getting, is to try to solve the issue to see where the root problem is. Is it your ISP that's blocking the end result? Could be. So I'm not really sure on that one. Because like I said, my Fen lights, I can hear it running right now. I hear the wife watching TV in the other room. Working. Oh, there
we go. I just put it up there. Leon's. Leon's in private. In private. I mean, in starred.
Oh, starred.
Yeah.
Premiumize works well for myself since RD went down. The wife is upset. She can't find her favorite shows. So he went well, but so Leon is RD working for Leon though? Is he using the latest version? Because he's using Premiumize.
Premiumize in whatever app. He doesn't say what app he's using it in, but he got Premiumize when RD went down.
Let us know, Leon.
Yeah, let us know.
He can't get RD to work down under. He moved to Premiumize.
Oh. That shouldn't matter though. I mean, if just because you have Premiumize installed, this shouldn't stop you from using RD. RD would not work because RD's not working. So I'm not sure. Again, we're talking when we're talking about some of this stuff, folks. You got the add-on we're using and the version numbers and sometimes the settings. And then we have the device that it's running. And if your ISP is mixed in there, it used to be only you had to worry about your ISP. Now we got all these other factors that may be playing into why one person works and one person doesn't. So a lot of times I haven't heard anything about right now about Fen Light not working. So that's why it leans me to, is that a ISP issue where you may want to, try it with a VPN and see if that's my workaround. I'm not sure. But again, Fen Light and Fen are working as of right now. Ron says one of these, whoops, hold on a second. What I got here? Ron says, Premiumize also deducts points with multipliers for certain hosts. Good point. Most people don't realize. So if you're using torrents, that's a 1-to-1. So it's a gig, it's 1. If it's 2 gigs, that's 2 points. If you download, let's say that it's on a hosting site like RapidGator. We've all heard of that. So we're pulling from RapidGator or Mega. Those are 2 big hosting sites. If you're pulling from some of those sites will have a multiplier. So let's just say, for example, RapidGator is a 3-to-1. I don't know what it is. Just throwing those numbers out there if that's the case. So if you watched a movie that was 10 gigs through RapidGator and Premiumize has a 3-to-1 multiplier, then you would be deducted 30 points instead of the 10. So you'd have to look through the FAQ. Premiumize has some breakdowns of that stuff, but torrents, which most people are doing, the cache torrents, they're 1-to-1. And one of the other cool things about Premiumize is you can upload stuff. You got 1,000 gigs of a storage. They give you a terabyte of storage that you can store whatever files you want. Now it costs you points to put it onto your storage, onto your cloud. But then for you to watch it from your cloud doesn't cost you any more points. So let's say you've got a kid that's a big Teletubbies fan, which I know Teletubbies, nobody's watching that shit now. But let's say your kid's big into Teletubbies and you download,
dating yourself.
Yeah, 3 seasons of Teletubbies. And it costs you however many gigs to get that 3 seasons. Well, for you to watch that doesn't cost you anything because that's you're pulling from your cloud. So your kid could watch it forever and it doesn't cost you any more, if that makes point. Art, got in late to your stream. What's the status and the reason why RD still working? Get on Fenlight, not working on Saren. So I think that it's working on Saren now with the latest versions. We talked about that at the very beginning of the show, Art. I think that Saren is, before the show started, from what I read, I don't use Saren, but I think Saren is working if you have the latest version. RD is working in Fen, and that is only because the developer of Fen made some adjustments and some tweaks to make it work. And again, this is fluid. Things, what's working today may not be working tomorrow. So if you're watching this video next week and you're like, wow, that shit he's saying ain't working no more. Well, that was then.
Well, watch, give you a reason to watch Friday when all this shit he's talking about now goes south. You know, there'll be new info on Friday.
New info. Yeah, I'm just pulling everybody along. This is all. I'm just trying to drag you guys along through all this stuff. Let's see. Make sure Coca Scraper scrape Nightcrawler, Media Fusion. All right. So this is a good point, Rons. Rones or Rons. I guess it'd be Rones. In your scraper, in your add-ons, there are scrapers that are turned on and off. Sometimes in the past, we used to narrow down the number of scrapers that we use. Sometimes you may find turning on some of these scrapers that were off by default, you may find pulls better results. Nightcrawler and Media Fusion. I know Media Fusion is also an add-on, and I messed around with that a little bit. Not a big fan of that, but the scraper itself may be a good option. So. Oh, and that's links to Debrid Media Manager. So another cool app. I actually was going to talk about that a while back ago because that Debrid Media Manager is pretty nice. So,
a couple of them, you just might want to look at them first.
Yeah, I'm just kind of popping through some of these.
Yeah, okay.
Ben's working great with Premiumize. Yep, thank you, Leon. Can't get move to Premiumize. Well. Leon, we'll just have to see. I don't know if Leon has a VPN. Do you remember those? Aldebrid did the same thing as RD. I wasn't that impressed, to be honest, but signed on with someone else as a backup. Yep. And again, Aldebrid is in the past was kind of like it worked okay. Their cache system wasn't what Real-Debrid because not as many people used it. But their system is also being overwhelmed. All these systems are being overwhelmed with the influx because Real-Debrid's losing so many people. To ramp up takes time, guys. So you can't expect these companies that only had, a plateau of a certain number of customers and then customer level doubled. Infrastructure has to take time before it's the servers and everything's updated. We remember RD had issues all the time with their upgrading services, upgrading servers and upgrading this and up. That's taken years to do that. So Premiumize, Aldebrid, all these other companies are trying to do this like now. So it's going to take time.
And they get the hardware around Thanksgiving, no less.
Yeah. And it gets to be where I think about it is also, it takes time to get these servers set up and on the racks. And anybody that's bought a server, it takes time. And you don't call them tomorrow and they have it the next day. It takes time to get that stuff and that's to be ready.
And moving files around, no less.
Yeah. Oh shit. I missed. Hold on a second. I accidentally unchecked a couple of them.
Okay.
There was a lady that. Oh, there it is, Lori. Okay.
Okay.
Does a VPN on Premiumize also work on other standalone OTT Navigator, or will I still require a separate VPN? No. So OTT Navigator, isn't that an IPTV? Isn't that an IPTV client, guys?
It is.
Okay. So no, OTT Navigator, if it has a built-in VPN for that and it's already built in, well then it is what it is there. Most of these IPTV clients, what you can do is you can get a certificate. You can create, if you do a little Googling on your ISP and what you're trying to link it, you can get a certificate. And what you can do is you drop it into the folder and then you link it on your IPTV player and it will use it. So my point, if let's say you had Nord, read up Nord about getting their certificate for Nord. You can get a certificate for Nord and it's a text file that tells your login information, what city you're trying to connect to, your VPN settings. Okay, it creates a text file. You put that on your device, and then through Navigator, you can link to that text file. So then that text file runs, and it says, okay, this is a VPN. I got all your information. That's the server you want to connect to. So then your OTT Navigator would be using your Nord certificate. So you wouldn't need 2 different VPNs for it. It's just that you have to create a certificate to use inside the IPTV. What you could do is what I do is I just run my VPN on my device, and it's running, and then I open up my whatever Kodi or IPTV, whatever I'm opening up, and then VPN's running already. So it doesn't have to be running in the app. It's running already when I connect to an IPTV or TV Mate or whatever client I'm using, and it's using a VPN. Did I talk in a circle, or did that make sense? Sometimes my brain gets going. I'm like, did that just make sense?
It made sense.
Right.
Because it was you have to know where, what you would, the circle of life you were trying to make.
Yeah. The main thing is just if you got a VPN, don't get 2 separate VPN. Get a VPN. You run it on the device, and then connect and open up whatever. You would have to put the VPN on each device, which is not the end of the world. Need change. We talked about that. Wait, no, Leon doesn't have premiumized issues though. He got premiumized issues. Okay, look at there. Holy shit, I got to the bottom, bro.
Yeah.
You did. Oh,
I figured you need a drink now.
you need 2 drinks.
No drinks. I have no drinks.
You have
I
nothing
don't have
sitting
my
there?
vape pen. I don't have
man.
nothing. But I couldn't have been able to. I couldn't have talked about all this stuff if I'd have been smoking or drinking. Because my brain starts to slowing.
That's why we still got 120, 8 people looking.
So check the VPN doesn't use quota. Yeah, you're right. Some VPNs do check quota, use quotas. So, So there's lots of things when we're using VPNs. Read on VPNs. Don't read one review site and say, "Oh, that's it." I actually had a website that was privacy. Hold on a second. Privacy. I will give this website because this is a legit website. RestorePrivacy.com. Copy. Let me post over here. This, if you're doing some VPN checking, and this is a website that I used years ago. Unbiased opinion.
We're not seeing it.
I just posted over there in the chat.
Oh, in the chat you just posted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could post. You want me to make it a banner?
No. I'm talking about
okay.
that. I thought you were opening the site.
No. I post over there. So restoreprivacy.com is it's a good site that's going to give you an unbiased opinion, pros, cons of all of it, which I love when they give pros and cons. I hate these websites that's, again, some of these review sites are owned by the VPN companies. So do you think they're going to be a bad review? So Restore is going to give you that unbiased opinion. And then you can figure out what fits your needs, because they don't just tell you, hey, this is the best one, get it. They say, hey, if you got these needs, if you got these, so you got to figure out what's important to you. And if certain things are important to you, then you can figure out what VPN fits your needs. And again, no affiliate links down below. I don't care what VPN you get, or if you don't get a VPN. I'm not making any more money or less money if you get a VPN. So, no affiliate links here for some VPNs. I'm just being honest with you. You check it out, do your research, figure out which one fits your needs. You met with the premiumized quota. Yeah, you got to be careful with the quotas. I think premiumized gives you better links than Real-Debrid. Guess quality over quantity. Could be right. Yeah,
but you pay the price.
Yeah, there's a higher price to it. And I think also sometimes when people, it's all relative. I just, it cracks me up when people are like, I ain't spending all that. Okay, well, It's like
spend it the other way.
Oh my god!
No.
But yeah, I don't know people's budget. I ain't got a lot of money. I mean, I'm nowhere near well off. But you people that buy, and I don't know if these are. I'm not saying that some of these people, but when you got people that are spending $7 on a latte and they buy one 5 days a week,
right?
That's $35 a week,
right?
Times 4. That's $140 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we spend money with what's important to us. If your latte is important to you every day, well then, hey, that's where you're going to spend your money. You ain't going to have no problem spend $7 on a latte. If going out to eat fancy food, at the steakhouse is important to you, that's where you're going to spend your money, and you're completely fine. So it's all in what is important to you and where you feel is where your money's best spent. But I know for me, what's important and where I'm okay about spending money. When I look at a VPN or I've bought some of these services, am I going to get my money out of that? Sure. I'm going to get my value out of it. You got to figure out where you're going to get your value out of this, because now and moving forward, this is not going to get any easier. If you're pulling your hair out right now, you may really want to reevaluate if this is the hobby for you, because the broadcasters, copyright owners, Motion Picture Association, the European government, the American government are going to make this harder. It's going to get harder. If you think this is hard, you ain't seen shit yet. And that's just me being honest. It is not going to get easier. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be impossible. I'm not going to say that you can't do it, but it's not going to be as easy as it's been for the last number of years. Because if we roll back 7, 8, 10 years ago, or even a little bit longer with Kodi, it was harder. And it was harder back then. And then it got real easy with Real-Debrid and some of these services. And the add-ons are so stable. It's easy.
Yeah.
And then we get the Streamios and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've been here 2.5 hours.
Oh shit.
So
all right. Yeah.
We're gonna have to wrap this up. I just wanted to get to everybody's right. That's what I just wanted to get to everybody's.
Tomorrow I'll be hoarse.
Yeah.
So good point. Hey, the guys on my panel, and I'll say this, and this ain't kissing their ass. The guys on my panel, I appreciate them every day. They my friends, been my friends for a long time, and that's why they do shit for me, and they do shit this quickly for me all the time. So I appreciate them, and I appreciate their hanging with me and sitting quietly while I talk too damn much. So I appreciate their friendship and the knowledge that they bring to this show every week. So Beach, we're gonna wrap up. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, because I'm working on stuff in the background while you're babbling on. So,
hey, those are friends. Those are my friends.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, tune in Friday, because I'm sure there's gonna be shit happening now and Friday.
100%. Eddie.
Hey, thanks, Dab, for coming on so quick like you did today, because I think you answered a lot of questions for a lot of people. Like you said this morning when you said, are you joining? I said, yes, I'm in. So
yeah, you did. You're the first one.
I wanted to have some questions answered, and I think you've answered at least 99.9% of my questions. Thanks, Dabs.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. My partner in crime, Aubin.
What's up, brother? Thanks for the show. Just a reminder to everyone else, we're doing the for the Play It Pass, we'll be watching name that movie again. The 4:30 movie.
Yeah.
It's called. We'll watch that Wednesday night instead of Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Because Thursday, I plan to be, still in my belly.
Passed out in a food coma.
Yep. I really need it. I really need that. And we'll see you guys on Friday. Hopefully, we get a bunch of you to come out, and we'll see what's new with all of this Kodi.
Maybe
stuff.
it'll be a new ball game.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be. It could be great. It could be all great. Yeah, Thanksgiving's Thursday. Look at here. Christian just noticed.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. Yes, I get called Iron Man a lot, especially when I work with the little kids. They're all they all.
But but it's not Robert Downey Jr. You are. It's Frank Zappa.
Frank Zappa. Hey, how many people over here even know who he is? I do.
Oh God.
Jim, heart out to you. Anybody in retail right now, my heart goes out to you. I left that career.
Yeah.
Bless your heart, Jim.
Don't you want to go back?
I love all my coworkers in the past. Love them to death, and I feel so bad for them because, oh my God, this is tough days. Tough.
But do you miss cutting meat?
I miss the teamwork.
Okay.
When I was doing it, I had a team. I felt like my guys were my team, and I miss that kind of thing. That's what I miss. I miss that. But times roll on, and you know what?
Yeah.
You got. Here I am in the Great White North and living life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Thanks for everyone joining.
Do you watch that show though?
What
what is it called? The Great White North?
No.
White North. The White North, I think it's called. It's a cartoon.
Oh,
animated.
Is it on? I'll have to look. Is it on your Plex?
Yeah, it's on my Plex. Yeah. I love watching the show.
All right. So I just want to say thank you for everyone that on the panel that joined, but also a massive thank you to people that took time out of their day to day, the live time, because when people join live means huge amounts to me. I mean, because someone's not watching this later when they're bored and they're just flipping through this. Watching live, you're not doing other things that you could be doing. You're on here watching this live. My hope was to answer some questions, because I'm telling you, I'm on a lot of social platforms, and I tried to just answer questions and try to alleviate misinformation. And sometimes that's hard. And I thought, you know what? There's been a lot of stuff that's happened since Friday. Maybe we can have a show to try to explain what's going on, because I've heard a lot of misinformation or things not explained correctly, or that much information and then leaving it at that. So I wanted this to be a show that we could give some information, have people ask questions, pull a little bit of knowledge, walk away with this and say, all right, I understand what's going on now. I'm a little less freaked out. I know what my options are, and I'm gonna play this out. And as things change, I will make those changes and adapt. That's what my hope is for people to adapt as we need, because this hobby you need to be able to adapt. If you can't adapt when things change, this is not the hobby for you. You need to just go back and pay for cable TV and not worry about this, or Netflix, whatever you want to pay for. This hobby takes making changes when they come and rolling with it, not get mad, because you got to look at what you earn, what you got, for what you put into it, the cost versus the reward. You got to think about that. And if you earned a lot over time, then hey, you're great. So thank you guys. Thank you gals and all that have watched it. And we're going to roll out of here, and we'll see you guys Friday. So tune in Friday, join our Telegram groups. The links are down below. If you have an Oculus, definitely join that group. So, hey, we'll talk to y'all later. And hey, love y'all.
Yo.
Curtains falling on the screen. Hope you laughed and learned a bit. Had some fun and skipped routine. Time to close this crazy shit. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time to say goodbye. Through the streams and download set. But now it's time for us to fly. Information, picked up tips and tricks to enjoy. But now we leave this online station. It's time to pack up every toy. fence, but it's time for us to fly through the streams and download set. You can kiss my ass goodbye.